Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a haul from the East End Vintage Clothing Company's £1 sale. So the East End Vintage Clothing Company is normally a filler bag company. You can find their information linked below. You can check them out on Facebook, and they post up regularly when they're going to have sales, and they have £1 sales. Last summer they had a 50p sale, so today was £1, and so I went down with my friend Jo and we decided to take a look at what we could get. So the first things that I wanted to look for were shirts, because I don't have many and I was in need of some. There was a gap in my wardrobe. So there was rails and rails of stuff. It was all kind of sorted out into sort of knitwear, shirts, skirts, dresses. So everything in this haul was £1. Just bear that in mind. So the first shirt that I got, this embroidered shirt with sort of scalloped edging on it. And I thought it was fantastic. I thought the embroidery is really nice, and the kind of thing that I can pop a cardigan on with when it's colder as well. I tend to go for short sleeves or no sleeves, because even in the winter months you can layer them up. So the next shirt that I got was this white one that is quite hard to see the collar. It's got this really lovely pointy collar on it that's going to look, I think, really good over like a cardigan. It's also got really interesting sleeves, and it's actually a nice fabric altogether, so I don't know if you can really see. So the next shirt that I got is another white one. This is from Jessica, which I think was C&A back in the day, and every vintage girl that I know loves Jessica because they do really vintage inspired things that are sort of from the 80s. So this shirt has got sort of a little bit Edwardian, this one. It's got these kind of poofy sleeves and this almost like a rough neckline on it, and it's got sort of detail on the front as well. I think that would look nice with a waistcoat and just with the sleeves on show. So the last white thing that I got was this sort of smock kind of top, and this is actually for a blog post that I'm doing, that I need more of like a 70s kind of feel to an outfit, so I thought this was perfect. It's kind of that gypsy sort of smock type top. Then I picked up this beautiful rose print shirt, which again, it's just a little sleeveless shirt. It does have a stain on it, so I'm taking a punt on this one that I can get that stain out of the front, because the pattern's lovely. Then next I picked up this blue collared shirt. I seem to pick up loads of these shirts at these pound sales that are almost entirely square. There's no real cut to them, but they look great tucked into stuff. And this one has actually got a lovely collar with these tiny little rhinestones on it. And so I thought that will look lovely with a cardigan over the top as well. I'm a fan of a cardigan, I'm always cold. The next shirt that I got was this yellow rose print shirt, which is just a short sleeved, just a normal short sleeve shirt. This one doesn't have any buttons on it, so I'm going to have to raid the button box, but that's not a problem for me. I've got a lot of spare buttons, and it also looks really nice tied up. So that's the print on that one. So the last shirt that I got is something that I can never resist if I see anything along a kind of Western theme. Something that not a lot of people know about me is that I used to ride horses when I was younger, and I really love horses. Anything Western, cowboy, cowgirl, I can't help it. I just love it. So I picked up this shirt. I couldn't believe no one else had picked this up. Maybe that says more about me than it does about them. It's just another short sleeve shirt, but the print on it is like cowgirls and cactuses and horseshoes, and I just fell in love with it. And I've actually got some boots that I don't really wear that much anymore, but I can't ever let them go. They're my favourite boots, and I'm just thinking that that's going to make like a really, it'll be novelty, but it's going to make an outfit. I couldn't resist it. So then I picked up a couple of bits of knitwear while I was there. The knitwear there is really decent actually, if you're willing to have a rummage. So the first thing that I picked up was this pink V-neck, sort of little sweatery type thing. It's got sort of, this line here is kind of a glittery knit, and then it's just got little zigzag sleeves. Thought it was lovely, the colour's really nice, so I picked up that. Then the next bit of knitwear looks much nicer on, I promise, is this little, it's like a green hand knitted, I think, with white trim little sweater. And it looks really nice on, honestly. It's actually, I thought it was faded in the middle, but it's actually where someone's used the wrong colour wool, and there's like a line right through the middle of it that's just off colour, but it's actually a different colour wool. And I just thought actually that was a nice homemade touch. I don't mind it. So that's that one. So then I moved on to skirts, and I didn't pick up many skirts. I've only got two, because I tend to find that I can't always find them in my size. When they are in my size, they're not necessarily my style. So I just picked up a couple. So the first one that I picked up was this green one, which is a full skirt, comes to below the knee. It's got a lining under there as well, and this really thick waistband that's got quite big belt loops, which I liked because I can whack a belt on with that, and have kind of a top tucked in and really showcase the skirt. The waistband doesn't have any fastenings, there's no zip, there's no buttons, it just is what it is, and it fits me on the waist, but in order to get it on, it was a struggle. I had to kind of negotiate it down, and then to get it off I had to negotiate it back up. But I'll stick with it because once it was on, it was actually worth it. So I don't know whether I will at some point try and pop a button or a zip into it. For now I'll just leave it as it is. And then the second skirt that I got, I knew this wouldn't fit me because the waist is tiny. The waist genuinely only just goes around my neck, so it's not going to fit. I even put my corset on. No, it's tiny. But it's a really beautiful skirt. Again, it's like a long to below the knee, and it's got buttons all down the front, and then these little faux pockets which are really sweet, and it will look lovely on. What I will do is unstitch the waistband because there's actually quite a lot of fabric beyond that, and then put in an elasticated waist and keep the little winky pockets. So I did pick up a couple of dresses just because I had a little look through and I saw a couple of things that I really liked. So I wasn't opposed to buying dresses, I just wasn't there to have a really good rummage through them. So the first one that I got is this polyester dress, which has got a lovely floral print on it. And it's just like a slash neck. It's got an elasticated waist, always welcome in my house. And this last dress I'm not sure on. I'm not 100%. But it is lovely. I'm just not sure that it's got a very high neck. So this powder blue polka dot dress, which has got sort of a pleating in the front, almost like a bat wing. When it's on, it looks sort of like a bat wing sleeve, and then comes to below the knee again, and it's got a lining on it as well. Also came with the original tie belt, which sometimes they don't at these pound sales. You can't really expect it, but I was happy that it did. It does look nice on. I'm not sure. I'll maybe do the try on and then decide whether I'm going to keep it or gift it to someone. But it's really sweet. The zip's still good. That's another tip actually when you're at these sales, is actually just run the zip up and down. It doesn't take 2 seconds, but it saves you getting home and thinking, oh, now I've got to pay so much more money for someone to put a zip in for me, or you've got to do the work yourself. So we were finished at the East End Vintage Clothing Company by then, and we decided to take a trip down to the East End thrift store, which is a similar type of set up, and they do pound sales as well, and they sometimes have them on the same day as this other company. It's about a 15-minute walk, so we headed down there and went to go and see what they had and see if they had anything different. It wasn't quite as good as it has been in the past when I've been. Sometimes I've been there and spent sort of 15 quid. This was a lot of jumpers, a lot of Christmas jumpers actually, which I'm kind of mourning now. I should have bought one. And a lot of plaid, which made my friend Joanna happy. She was thrilled. She almost got camouflaged in with all the plaid. So as I mentioned in my other video, I'm going on holiday soon, and I really can never find shorts that I like and shorts that I think will be okay for just mooching around. Until I saw these in the pound sale at the East End thrift store. So these are Levi's, and they're men's just shorts, just denim shorts. What I really love about men's shorts and men's denim in particular, especially 80s kind of denim, is that it's really high-waisted. So actually these have got the world's longest fly. It's like really long, but they come up really high, and they're really nice. They fit really nice as well, so I was happy about that. So I thought that was all I was going to find, and then I saw something poking out of the rail, and I couldn't believe when I saw this was in the pound sale. It was just insane to me. I wasn't in the market for a ball gown. I saw something great on Facebook that said, I'm not overdressed, I'm just under-occasioned. And I really I felt like I'd found my people when someone said that, because I can't wear this to Lidl, but it is a beautiful rust coloured, I can't decide if it is actually raw silk. I think it is, or if it's kind of an imitation material, but it is lush. It is so nice. It's got boning in the bust, and then it's floor length, but it's straight all the way down, and the hem is really good on it as well. It doesn't need like much attention. and the back of it has these little fabric covered buttons, and then there's a zip below that, and the zip's still good as well. This, it kind of can sit, it's that one of those that sits sort of slightly off the shoulder. There's a tiny little bit of elastic in those as well, so it's actually really comfortable and it fits me. And I'm not sure when I might be going to a party that might be kind of Regency. I might wear it at Twinwood and wear it as kind of like a straight 1950s style, with the right, maybe with the right kind of fabric belt or something. It might look kind of 50s. I'm not sure yet, but I could not walk away from it. It was £1 for a ball gown. I might wear it to Lidl. You never know. So I was at the till and they had little baskets hanging around of just bits and pieces, odds and sods, and I spotted this, which on closer inspection is actually real fur. I thought it was faux fur. It's a cape. Now I know real fur isn't to everybody's taste. I do wear vintage fur, and until it's seen out its use as a garment, I will happily wear it to vintage events. I don't tend to wear it out and about every day, because it is a bit controversial. I wouldn't buy modern fur, wouldn't support the modern fur trade, have absolutely no interest in buying anything that's been produced recently. So I prefer that I will utilise the garment, and then before it ends up in landfill, that I can make sure that it gets recycled or reused in an appropriate way. So I don't have a problem with people wearing vintage fur. So it's a cape, it just hooks with a little hook in the front and leaves your arms kind of free. Like I say, I'll wear this to a vintage event. I wouldn't necessarily wear it anywhere else. And that was £1 as well. So I always think at a pound sale, this thing's not far from ending up in landfill. And if nobody buys it, because it's not to their taste, then fair enough. But I don't like the idea of it going to landfill and it being wasted and not utilised as best as it can be. So that was the end of my £1 haul. I think I did really well. If you like this, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more hauls coming soon. Everything needs to go in the wash now, it stinks. So I'm going to wash everything, wait for it to dry, and then I'll do the try on video and I'll pop all that in at the end. Take care, thanks for watching, see you later. Let it go!
In an April shower, romance will fill the hour, and outdoor paradise for two.